All right, what's up, guys? It is 7:52 Friday night, and boom! Look at this view from the DoubleTree, Durham. So this weekend we are graduating from Duke University, finally, long awaited. But I wanted to bring one of my favorite shoes here to continue our reacquaintance tour. So this week we got the SC Trainer V2, Saucony Ride, Puma Deviate Nitro 2, and then today I did a 22-mile run in the Nike Vaporfly. I've been reacquainting myself with some of these older shoes that are still goodies. So this weekend, tomorrow specifically, time for the 200-mile review of the Vomero 17, which has been one of my favorite daily trainers of the past year. There have been lots of good things coming on the market, but something about the combination of the soft ZoomX with the more stable feel down here and overall just a nice streamlined package still made this really hit for me. So 200-mile review, Nike Vomero 17, DoubleTree edition. We got the man-made lake. We got the chlorinated pool. We got it all, baby. Let's go. So Vomero 17, this is Nike's premium. This is their top tier daily trainer. It sits between the Pegasus, which is more of that standard basic daily trainer. It sits between that and the Invincible. And what I really love about it is it combines those two shoes really well. So I actually ran the Pegasus first and then this and then the Invincible. So I guess I started from the bottom. Now we start in the middle. This is the middle class shoe, and it has some of the elements of that top tier Invincible, namely this ZoomX here, and you really can feel that soft bouncy pop from the Vomero. And then like the Pegasus, it has a standard training foam on the bottom. It's a slightly different foam than we see in the Pegasus. This guy is called Cushlon, but very similar feel, slight bounce to it, nice and stable, not too squirrely. And then we do get a wide base, and the thing that I really like too about the back of the shoe is they push the foam up the sidewalls to lock the heel in place. So midsole also has a 10mm drop, which is one of the things that's a little bit weird about this shoe at times, and it gives it a little bit more ground feel up in the forefoot and some more flexibility. If you look at this here, you see I can basically fold the shoe in half. I'm not going to do that, but you get some good control over the front of the platform, a little bit more than other shoes in this category. Other shoes that this goes up against, like Nova Blast, for example, or even Saucony Ride. This just has a little bit more of that nimble, light feel in the forefoot because of the ZoomX, which compresses a ton. And today when I ran in the Vaporfly for my long run, it was about 3 hours, 22 miles. I felt at times that the foam was compressing a little bit too much. I don't get that here because you get that bottom layer of firmer foam, but you're going to get more ground feel than other shoes with a similar stack height. And then boom, look at this. At 200 miles, we got some good outsole coverage still. This thing basically looks pristine, almost untouched at about 200 miles. You do have that normal wear area for me in the back, but other than that, really solid. Wet weather grip on this guy is decent, and I got it in this nice forest green colorway and still in really good shape because, guys, you got to take, I've been saying this, I've been repeating it. I'm trying to bash you over the head with this. You got to take care of your shoes and they'll take care of you. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. If you got it, you get it. You got to treat your shoes well. So it's held up really well through 200 miles. There's no signs of wear on the upper whatsoever. It has this almost, canvasy material here, but it is decently breathable. You get the really padded tongue and then these flat lay laces, which make for a really solid, which make for a great fit here. And then you also do have a little bit of a wider toe box. I'll make sure to do an update tomorrow once we get it on foot. But overall, it's a well-built shoe. Look at this thing. It doesn't look flimsy. It doesn't feel flimsy, but at the same time, it doesn't feel heavy on foot. You get a nice slight roll. You get the ZoomX foam. That's going to be, so the ZoomX is what draws you in, right? That's going to be the sweet sauce, but then everything else about the shoe just feels good. The upper feels good. The firmer foam on the bottom feels good. You guys are going to be hyped up about the shoe, man. I want to go run these miles right now, but yeah, that's the thing. You get some stability from the back. You get some nice structure. It's overall just feels like a quality product when you put it on, and this is a shoe that I feel has flown a little bit under the radar. So there you go, guys. Quick overview of the Vomero. I cannot wait to get some miles in this tomorrow. And take a look at this. Boom. A little poolside view with the sunrise. Look at that. Look at that gentle sunrise coming off of this 1984 building right there. Look at this videography coming to the Supwell channel, baby. Let's go. Supwell videography coming 2023. Coming 2025. I don't know why I said 2023. It's 2024 right now. That means I'm tired. This was supposed to be my vacation night, but you know what? We got to grind. We got to get the miles in. And tomorrow, we are going to get the miles. I'm saying Supwell videography. You can't even see the shoe. Boom. Tomorrow, we are going to get the miles in the Vomero here. I will see you then. All right, guys. 4:34 a.m. Pull up in the DoubleTree, bro. DoubleTree Suite, Raleigh, Durham. You got to get the suites. This is the thing. If you're traveling with the family, you got to get the suites. And I think I successfully escaped the room so that none of the children woke up. But yeah, man, we're up bright and early today to get the rest of our miles in. I think I have about 19 miles left that I need for the week. And we're going to get probably about 9 or 10 this morning. Fitness center, let's go. Ooh, warm in here. Alright, here we go. It's a hotel gym. They've got treadmills. They've got free weights. I actually have to get changed. I'm still in my clothes that I slept in. Then I can come back in here. Boom. Look at those Vomero. Alright, I'm gonna go change, but one thing. These Vomero are super comfortable on foot. That top layer of ZoomX really helps to step in. Time to get these early morning miles in, man. So plan for this run is 9 to 10 mile recovery run. We have 19 miles left on the week to get our weekly mileage, and this is why I'm waking up at 4:30 a.m. in the hotel on graduation weekend so we can get those miles in. But I actually got really good sleep last night. I think I sleep better in hotels than I do at home. I don't know what it is. At home, so Charlie has these curtains in our bedroom that are, it only covers, we have a bay window, and it only covers one part of the bay window so that the light comes in, and then, I don't know, something about these hotel bedrooms, and we have a little suite, so the kids are both sleeping in the living room. It's not a bougie suite, it's a utilitarian suite, but the kids are sleeping in the living room, and then we're sleeping in the bedroom, and it's just pitch black, and it feels super cozy. So I got great sleep last night. I probably slept, I was reading my little Harry Truman book, Plain Speaking. I probably slept from, what time was it when I got in bed? Probably from 9:30 to 4, and then from 4 to 4:30 I was just constantly checking my watch, and I got up before the alarm went off, thankfully, so it didn't wake everybody up, because that's always a concern here in these hotels. But yeah, now we're good to go. Shout out to the DoubleTree. So little 9 to 10 piece this morning. We're gonna be on that treadmill for a while. Alright, one sip, everybody knows the rules. Way too cold. Way too cold. That is way too cold. That is painful. Man, now I know why that room temp trend is taking hold. That was way too cold, dude. Yeah, I'm just doing this run right now, fasted, RD, as we say in the industry. Fasted, no food, no water. Well, I guess I have water, no food, no coffee, unfortunately. But it's early enough so the body probably can handle it. All right, I'm gonna finish this ice cold water, and then we can hop on the treadmill. Alright guys, we got 9 miles. Let's see how close the 10.32. I thought I was clipping off fast. No sir. No siree Bob. Dude, the thing is, if you don't recalibrate correctly here, it will send it to Strava locked in, and then you're stuck with it forever incorrectly. So boom, 9 miles. Bang. Slow recovery pace. 9:05 pace. Man, we were slow today. I think that's what happens when you pop on the treadmill 10 minutes after waking up. But hey, we got it done. Cruising along. Time on feet, recovery. And the thing is, with these recovery days, for me, it's just about being able to get out here and move. I actually think I might have gotten 9.5 miles because the treadmill said my average pace was 8:50. That's the thing with these treadmills, you always have to stop them. They don't go to past an hour, so you have to reset them. So when I hit whatever it was, I think 6.5, 7 miles. When I hit 7 miles, I had to reset it, but we got it done. And man, look at that. Little wear here on the Vomero, but let's pop outside. I think I saw some nice areas to sit outside, and we can do this ride breakdown on the Vomero 17. Man, I'm going to be dehydrated today, sitting at that graduation. But sometimes you have to be tactically rehydrated, you know? Or tactically dehydrated so that you don't have to use the bathroom. Especially if you're sitting at a graduation. So I'm going to slam as many cups of this water as I can now. Look at that, nice little dawn sunrise. Morning sunrise. Oh, look at this, man. Nice little pond action back here. You got the trees. And yeah, look at that. There's some dew. Oh no, that's not dew. Just some mist. Gently floating off the pond. We might have to pop down there. That's fire. I'm gonna grab my bag. That's hilarious, man. They have little paddle boats out here. So you can paddle around this tiny man-made pond lake thing. That's great. That's awesome. I love that. All right, guys, so look at this. We got birds, we got trees. It's like we're at home. There's a little, I don't know what that is. Hold on, look at this. Whoa, that is close. Whoop. All right, we got great blue herons, man-made lakes. It is the American dream. We also have the Nike Vomero 17 here, and this guy is now at 200 miles. I think it's probably around 210 actually. So 9-mile recovery run this morning at a very relaxed pace in this guy. And let me tell you, it is still a comfortable shoe, and it's one of those types of shoes that is comfortable not necessarily because of anything that they're putting in it, but because of everything that it does not have. So it's not stiff, it's not blocky. Bro. Those fish are going ham. And yes, I'm walking with one shoe. Yeah, it's not stiff, it's not blocky, it's not firm. It's got a nice amount of flexibility up here in the front, and it reminds me a lot of the shoe that I gave last year's crown to, the New Balance Rebel V3, because that shoe is flexible, slightly soft, nice ground feel up here in the front. And over the past, 6 months to a year, my preferences have changed. I've been gravitating a little more toward higher stack shoes, toward plated training shoes, toward this category of shoes that provides more speed assistance and more prescriptive comfort. So thinking about when this came into my rotation, it was the New Balance 1080 V13 and this and the Boston 12. Those are the 3 main shoes I was running in a lot last fall before I started testing a ton of these new shoes. And I was pulling for this a lot for my everyday miles, but once I started rocking with the 1080 V13, there was no turning back, because that has more of those elements of prescriptive comfort. It has the soft upper, it has the hyper padded tongue, the super soft and pillowy back here, and then the foam in that, the midsole foam, is absolutely beautifully buttery soft. This guy is more workmanlike, it's more staid, it's more standard, but it just elevates everything about that standard everyday running shoe experience to a new, more comfort-oriented height, similar to how the Rebel V3 took almost a racing flat formula and modernized it and made it a training shoe. So with this guy here, at 200 miles, that ZoomX top layer is still providing a ton of step and feel. Whatever insole they put in here as well, let me see if I can take it out. Yeah, this guy is really comfortable, so lots of step and feel. And then the ZoomX on top. And I just paused because there's not actually ZoomX right below your foot. It's this cardboard liner here, and I was remembering someone saying that they put the cardboard into all these shoes and it makes them snap a little bit more. I don't know about all that, but step and feel on this is great. Through about, how long were we on the treadmill? 1 hour and 21 minutes, really comfortable shoe, and it still has a nice amount of protection out in the heel. That's the thing that I love about the shoe. It almost has this dual character where out in the heel you get a ton of stack, and then closer to the forefoot you get a little bit more ground feel. So definitely not the most protective shoe. And yesterday I ran my 22-mile long run, which took about 3 hours because I was also going slow yesterday. I ran that in a pair of Vaporfly 3s, and if you've run in Vaporflies before, you know that experience with the shoe. The foam compresses down a ton, and I could almost feel at points like I was running right on top of the plate, and then the plate was right on top of the ground. So feels like my feet are maybe a little bit beat up from yesterday's run, but today this was a decent amount of comfort, a decent amount of protection. It's not going to be as robust as something like the 1080, or the casual pair of shoes that I brought down for this trip was the On Cloud Eclipse. So it's not going to be as stacked as something like that, but compared to something like the Nike Pegasus, these dogs just tried to chase the bird. Yo, this bird is coming at me. I think we'll be safe. I don't know. But compared to something like the Pegasus, which is the Nike standard version of this, it does have a little bit more pop. It does feel a little bit softer, but overall it's not going to be the most cushioned shoe on the market. And so since running in this, I've run in the Nova Blast, Ride 17, Cloudmonster Hyper, Skyward X, Rebel V4. I'm trying to think of some of the more of the shoes. Mach 6. I've run in almost every popular training shoe or hyped up training shoe to hit the market since this came out and since I brought it into my rotation in October or November. I actually think it was November when I brought this into my rotation. My sister-in-law, Amani, got it for me. I bought it, but she picked it up for me at Dick's. So shout out to Amani. But what I was going to say was, compared to all those shoes, the market has really shifted toward that higher stacked, higher cushion territory. This guy is still rocking with the more standard feel. So if you're looking for a very protective shoe, that's not going to be this. That's still going to be Nova Blast. Even Mach 6 feels like at certain points, maybe it has a little bit more protection or it's a similar amount of protection, but something like the Mach 6, definitely Skyward X, even the Ride 17, because it's firmer, it's going to have a little bit more of that cushion feeling in the forefoot. So this is definitely a softer cushion shoe. It's not super soft like the 1080, but if you're coming from a Pegasus or something like the 1080 V12 or an older version of a Hoka and you're coming to this Vomero here, it is going to feel very comfortable. Now, like I said, not as soft as the 1080, but if you're used to firmer shoes, this will have a more comfort-oriented, soft experience, which I really like. Now, in terms of the wear here at 300 miles, we showed you this last night, but it's still, I don't know why I said we, it's just me, but it's still holding up really well. We do have that little bit of rubbing here, and even look at the insole here. The insole still has the letters on the inside. So if you told me this had 30 miles on it, I might believe you. The only areas of serious wear that you can see are the creasing on the ZoomX, but this was happening after probably about 20 miles. This guy does get pretty creased. But overall, through 200 miles, this has been a really solid ride. I recommend it to a lot of people, and if you want a go-to daily shoe, especially now at these sale prices, it's down at $95 at Dick's. If you want something just normal you can run in, if you're a beginner runner, if you're a bigger runner, if you're any type of runner, if you just want a normal everyday shoe to do runs up to an hour, even 2 hour long runs. I've taken this up to, I think this morning we were probably at 90 minutes. It's 9 times 9 is 81 minutes this morning. I've taken this up past 90 minutes a few times and it performs well. If you want just a normal shoe to run in that's not the most fun, but it's decently stable, comfortable, and cushioned, that would be the Vomero here, and it's also going to last you really long time. I know all my friends out there in the UK deal with wet weather like we do here in the Carolinas, and this outsole is solid for that. Now, some alternatives here. I did not bring 35 different shoes down to the Doubletree Suites here in Durham, but I will say top alternative to this, top two would be first Nova Blast if you want something a little bit firmer, if you don't like that softer feel, or if you want to dead that cushioned experience, or dead that ground feel in the front here. If you don't like having any sort of ground feel, I would go for the Nova Blast 4. It's firm, it's firmer than this, has a nice slight bounce to it, and it's awesome for long runs. So non-plated long run shoe, I'd go for Nova Blast over this, especially if you're going to be doing marathon training and you're looking to get something for a lot of 90-minute plus runs. This would be more of that daily trainer that you'll take up to an hour, and you can also use for gym, walking around town, etc. Now, second pick, if you want something a little bit more fun, a little better for speed, and that's something that I didn't discuss with this shoe, but I've taken it down to some steady miles, so around 650 to 7-minute pace, where I'm not going all out, but it's a little bit slower than marathon pace. This is good for that. However, if you're going to do some structured workouts where you're ripping off pace and you're doing mile repeats or 5K pace, 10K pace, whatever it is, but you also want something that's good for daily training, I would go Hoka Mach 6 over this. It's a little bit more fun. It's a little bit bouncier. It's also my recommendation for a lot of people who just want a normal shoe to run in. It feels like a normal shoe, but it's a little bit more fun and less stable than this. This is more stable, more durable. This is also $35 or $45 cheaper right now with that Dick's sale. So I'd suggest most people pick this one up just because the value proposition. But with that one, it has a little bit of a softer feel even than this, because with this you get the firmer layer of foam on the bottom, plus you get this firm rubber, which can give a little bit of a, it can give a little bit of a feeling like there's something firm between the foam and the ground, similar to a plated shoe. So there's lots of soft plated shoes out there, but it just has a little bit more reinforcement to it up here than a shoe like the Mach 6 where it has a very thin layer of rubber. So Mach 6 is the one I would pick if you want something lightweight and fast, versus this, which is a little bit more standard weight and not necessarily designed for speed, more designed to be a do-it-all type of shoe. But for most runners, this is gonna be a great buy at $95. The only other shoe that's a better buy than this right now is the Puma Deviate Nitro 2. That's $87 at Dick's Sporting Goods. It doesn't have all the size availability as this though, but very similar shoe to this, good for everyday miles. Also has the 2 foams, but that's a little bit more speed oriented, similar to the Mach 6. So can't go wrong with this at $100 or under $100 at Dick's Sporting Goods. MSRP is $160, and even at that price, it's a great deal. I enjoyed all of my miles in it, and through 200 miles, I give it a hearty thumbs up. Good job, Nike. Vomero 17 is a hit for me, Supwell certified. So that's all I have on the Vomero 17. I gotta get showered and we gotta do some graduation, so I will see you tomorrow for another video. Stay tuned. All right, one more thing, guys. Actually, I'm about to take a shower here, but I got this question on the video I did on the Vaporfly about the ZoomX losing its peak performance relatively quickly. And my guy Stonio is asking if I felt that in the Vomero 17s as well, because I said that was an issue at the Vaporfly. And in this guy, I have not felt that that's the case. I didn't feel like it was losing any of that bounce or a nice soft step in. And I think that's the thing that's different a little bit with this is the ZoomX in here is more to provide a nice soft compression layer up top, not necessarily for a ton of speed assistance. So because its job is a little bit different, I don't think that the performance degradation is as noticeable as in the Vaporfly, where you don't have a firmer foam there to provide some of that bounce and support. You only have the ZoomX. So to answer your question, Stonio, we good. ZoomX still kicking at 200 miles.